So welcome everybody to another Entertaining Geek video, and here we have James Purnell from Incus. Hopefully I've spelled that, I was pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, no, you nailed it in one.
I can't even say spelled or whatever, so that's yeah, pronounced, so it's a good start in it. So James, tell us all about Incus and what you do and what you have to offer athletes.
Okay, so Incus is based here at Loughborough University, which, as many people know, is the sort of preeminent sports base in the UK. And Incus Performance, our mission statement here really is to create the sort of ultimate product for triathlon sports and multi-sports, whether that's running, cycling or swimming. Where we started was that it's very easy to get a lot of data. It's not necessarily always easy to understand what that data means or for it to actually help you become a better athlete. So our aim with the Incus platform is to provide world-leading analytics and metrics, but also the framework and the insights to help every athlete, no matter what level or distance they're operating at, to become a better athlete than they were yesterday.
Well, that's really good. I'm just thinking about, you know, that they, we've all got biases, and mine is I'm a 50-something male who subscribes to loads of different platforms, gets loads of data, and then does nothing with it. So typically, I do my Strava, and it tells me what my total stress score is,
Yep.
and it tells me if I'm a local legend, and that's probably about it.
Yes.
So, but I've got all my power data in there, and I've got my cadence, and I've got all that sort of stuff. Am I using it to improve what I do? Probably not. So from a triathlete's point of view, then, I have massive respect on you. So they're doing the swimming. Unless they strap an iPhone to the back, it's been very difficult to get data on that.
It's been massively hard. Swimming as a sport has been lagging technologically behind running and cycling for years. And when Chris, our founder, first started the project, he comes from a competitive swimming background. And there was just nothing really out there for him to use to improve his performance. And that's how Incus started, really. He then got very interested in triathlon off the back of that and thought, well, let's start as a firm with the hardest of all sports and the one that no one else has done. So that's why we moved into swimming first. We're up to sort of phase 2 of the swimming now. It's an ever-evolving project, and it constantly updates with more features and so on. But the swimming product has been incredibly well received. We're working with, you know, some incredible athletes at different levels, different countries. And now we're sort of getting towards the point of launching running, which I know you guys will be covering in the next couple of months, and we're really excited to share that with you. And eventually, obviously, we're going to move to the cycling as well. So it will be a one-stop shop, really, for triathletes, in that you've got one product that will do everything at a world-class level, but very, very simply. And it will also tell you what all those numbers mean, rather than just baffling you with 1,000 metrics that, as you say, you'll go, oh, that's really nice, on to the next day, and never look at them again, because ultimately that's not helping you as an athlete. It's not really providing that much worth.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think for the average person, it's just sheer analysis paralysis, really. I sometimes wonder why the hell I've got anything on my bike. But anyway, that's another story. So the Incus product then, let's say I'm a swimmer, and I must admit here, I'm probably one of the world's worst swimmers, but I'm in height-wise, I'm probably the length of a half Olympic pool, but, you know, that's the only advantage I have.
It's always a good start.
Lie down, touch the end, and turn around. So how does it work? You know, normally I've got a Apple Watch here, but a Garmin or something. How does it work with swimming?
Okay, so the Nova is worn on the back of the neck, so it's worn on the spine. It's the most accurate place that we've found, in that we can do very, very accurate left-right analysis. You know, we're not making guesstimations on, you know, things like, oh, well, you're going to be symmetrical. Nobody is symmetrical in the world. Everybody, even able-bodied athletes, have a weaker side. We obviously do a lot of work with the sort of Paralympian athletes as well. So Claire Cashmore, for instance, is one of our advisors. And because of her disability, she's even more asymmetrical than a lot of other people. So she's found it incredibly useful being located at that position, because we tell her exactly what each side is doing. So with the Nova, it's a very small device. There will be one floating around in this office somewhere that I'll show you shortly, or you can stick an image alongside this video. But it's worn in something we call the Fiend vest. So it's a bit like a catapult vest. So sort of short crop top that we developed alongside the guys at Hoob. It's 0% drag. It's been FINA approved, all that sort of stuff. So, it's a very high-tech garment. Pop that on, stick your Nova in the back, one button, go off, do your whatever session you want to do. You can do as much as you want or as little as you want. It will auto detect your stroke, so you can do mixed sessions, no problem. It will tell you whether you're doing butterfly, whether you're doing front crawl, whatever. And then at the end of your session, press one button and transfer it. And then on your phone, your iPad, whatever you choose to display it on, it will give you all your metrics, everything that you've done, how you've done it, and it will also compare your fastest and your slowest sections as well. So you can see exactly where those metrics are comparing. So you can go, oh, well, in my fastest, my stroke rate was X, my pitch was Y, my velocity gain was Z, and you can compare that to your slowest run. And you go, oh, well, that's where that difference is. That is what's making me faster. So it's all well and good going, well, I feel that length was faster. But when you can put those numbers to it, which is something in the swimming world that it's been very hard to do until now, we can give you that data. And for coaches, when they're looking at it going, I think you're doing better there, we can give them the numbers that help them actually provide them with that coaching expertise.
That's fascinating. So literally you could go along to your local, we call it the Dave round here, the David Lloyd. So you could go down there in the lanes, try a new technique out that maybe, you've heard in your club or you've heard from a coach or whatever, and then compare that to your normal baseline performance and work out if it's adding to or taking away from your likely performance in an event.
Yeah, 100%. You can try a lot of different things. For instance, we've just done some work with Adam Walker from Ocean Walker, and he wanted some metrics so he can compare his technique, which is obviously a much more glide-based technique, to the more sort of traditional technique. So we strapped an over on him and gave him a load of metrics, and then he could compare and contrast the two, which is very useful for him. Obviously, for longer distance triathletes, you're wanting to work on your efficiency because you're going to be swimming a heck of a long way, and you don't want to tire yourself out. You don't want to be going fast at the expense of your energy reserves because you've still got a lot to do after that point. So we've created a metric called velocity gain. So that is effectively your efficiency through the water. So you will always have basically something slowing you down. You're going against the water. What you don't want to do is go 20% faster, but use 200% more energy. You've got to keep it efficient, and we can measure that and tell you exactly how efficient you are. So you can work on that as a sort of day-by-day thing, and you can go, well, I'm getting faster, but I'm also getting more efficient. So as an athlete, I'm going to be able to cope better.
Gosh, that's fantastic. And what sort of difference has it made from people who've been using the product for a length of time? What has that, the cost-benefit sort of ratio ended up looking like?
I mean, obviously, it's always an incredibly hard one to fully quantify scientifically, but we've been very lucky in that the guys that have used it have all seen really good increases in their performance. So one of the guys that we've been working with quite heavily, he uses it, in pretty much every swim session, and he's just qualified for Kona. So he's certainly finding it's very useful. Yeah. Claire is using it in her run up to 2021 Tokyo to help her. A lot of guys, we're working with David McNamee, who a lot of your viewers will know is one of the top Ironman athletes. He's using it all the time now, especially in the sea, where he is in Girona, and he's been testing it in the pool, endless pool, all this sort of thing. So we're working with a massive, massive range of athletes, and they've all found it really helps, gives them the numbers that they need to improve. And I think that's the main thing, really.
That's really interesting. That was just something I hadn't really thought about before, not being, let's say the world's most great swimmer. So you can use this in any water setting. So open water, in a swimming pool, endless pool, in the sea. It will still generate data in the same way.
Yeah, so obviously, there are issues with open water endless pools compared to swimming pools. This was built for swimming pools from the off. But with open water, if you're swimming a grid, the Nova will detect those turn points. So if you swim, 100 by 100 meter grid, you can then set the Nova to 100 meters. Every time you turn, it will go, oh, that's a new length. And then it will do you as a sort of full 100 meters. Endless pool is something that we're working on at the moment, which is quite exciting. So I can't say a huge amount about that, but we should in the future have an endless pool mode that will be able to tie it really nicely with endless pools as well.
That's right. So okay, that's how much does it cost?
So the starting price is £350, and that will get you the Incus Nova. That will get you the Fiend Vest garment, and it will also get you the app, which is called the Cloud. And there's no subscription charge on that. So once you've bought it, it's free. It's not like a lot of the competitors with their trackers where you have to pay a set monthly charge. It's free. It updates, and every time we release new sports, so when we release running, when we release cycling, when we release new developments, that is all updated free over the air.
Yeah, do you know that and the subscription thing is one of my bugbears at the moment, because everybody, and I know why people do it. Why wouldn't you? But the whole subscription thing, you just sometimes you look at your bank statement, you think, how many subscriptions have I got here? Because each one you justify, oh, it's a coffee and a cake.
Yeah.
And you realise I would never have 17 coffees and 17 cakes in a day, a month. So anyway, so yeah. Terrible maths again, but anyway, so 350 quid is a great value. Looking at some of the fitness watches at the moment for multi-sports, they're £500, and they don't really do the analysis you're talking about with swimming. So yeah, that's a great price point. Blinking heck. That's really good.
I think we find it's quite competitive for the value it offers. It doesn't tell the time. We can't promise you that, but we can certainly make you a better athlete, and we can make you faster. And I think that's the value. That's
really good. So, I know there's some technology that gives people talking in their ears or whatever when they're swimming. Is there any plans to do that, or does it do it already? Or what are your thoughts about that? Is it better just to train, blind effectively, and then get the data afterwards?
No, so we are working on various things at the moment. We will have, in one way, shape or form, eventually live feedback. So you will be able to see certain metrics, certainly with the running and the cycling in real time. Swimming is obviously always slightly more problematic in that water and Bluetooth don't mix overly well. But that is, again, something we're working on at the moment. There's a huge amount in the pipeline that we are doing. One of the things that will be coming out sooner rather than later that I can talk about is called haptic feedback. So the Nova, when you turn it on, will vibrate on the back of your neck, mostly to tell you that it's on, you can start your session. What we are doing is working in parameters that you can set yourself that will then use that haptic feedback to help you when you're actually swimming or running or cycling.
Oh, super.
For instance, if your coach wants you to rotate to 50 degrees, you can set it so that when you reach that 50-degree point, it will vibrate on the back of your neck and help you build up that muscle memory. Because for a lot of people, when they get told by their coach, oh, I want you to rotate more, they'll go out, they'll swim 2 lengths and go, I felt I was rotating more. The coach will go, no, you weren't. And it's very hard, especially in a pool, to really feel that difference. But when you can build up that muscle memory and go, oh yeah, I've done that consistently, now I know what that feels like, we find that really, really helps people to nail that element. And that's going to have various different applications in the pool and across swimming and cycling as well.
Yeah, that's fascinating, isn't it? Crikey. So for somebody buying into the technology now, for me, it's a bit like this is in wherever it is, mobile phone world, this is like buying into the Apple ecosystem to me. This sounds like, so what I'm doing, I'm buying a developing product that's going to grow with me. So it starts with swimming, running's next, cycling comes next. So I'll have one product that does all my three sports, or if I'm a duathlete, it does my two sports or whatever, and I occasionally splash about and doing, like me, 300 strokes for a length.
Yeah.
Then it will help me develop to be a better swimmer, that is genuinely unique.
It is, and I mean, we are dealing with, for instance, we're doing one athlete at the moment, and before she decided that she wanted to become a triathlete, she couldn't actually swim. She was a very good runner. She'd done quite a lot of cycling, road cycling, mountain biking, a lot of stuff. So she was very comfortable on a bike. She couldn't actually swim, not even in a basic way. And we've been working with her. So she's now gone from being a non-swimmer to a much stronger swimmer than a lot of experienced swimmers in the triathlon world. So it really does work for whatever level you are at. You don't have to be, a top 10 Kona kind of guy or girl to warrant using it. It really does have a lot of use for, even your amateur, your sort of occasional swimmer, your occasional runner. We've made it so that it works across the board and there's value for whatever level.